Today we're taking you off the beaten path again to visit a forgotten legacy of Louis XIV in Normandy. We're visiting the Sun King's royal stud farm at le Haras National du Pin. This project was started in 1715 for King Louis, who tasked a nobleman to find a better location for his royal stud farm after the original project closer to Paris turned out to be a poor spot for horses and farming. This land was acquired partially by a land swap with a local state councillor who exchanged his estate here for a different property in Picardy. Louis's dream was to build the Versailles of horses, and between 1715 and 1736, this 600-hectare estate was designed by his architect, who had also worked on royal projects like the chapel at Versailles. The project was finished in 2 stages, with the herd of 200 horses being transferred here in 1714, suggesting that the stables were probably already here. But the chateau was then built between 1719 and 1724, and then in the early 1800s, many of the other buildings were added to match the architecture. The main purpose of the farm was to breed the finest horses, and by 1790, the stud had 196 stallions here. That year, the Constitutional Assembly of the Revolution decided to sell off the stallions, and by 1793, the horses and the property had all been sold to private owners. The stud farm was then re-established in 1806, and by 1808, much of the land had been bought back and the place was being restored. In 1814, a new herd was developed using Norman mares and English thoroughbreds, and it went on to continue being the best-known national stud in France and is now part of the French Institute of Horse and Riding. There are many things to do here, so definitely check out their website. I will link that below. They have activities, they have carriage rides, there is a private guided tour for about 10 euros, there is a free self-guided tour. There are limited numbers of guests allowed, so check the timing for those. There are activities for kids with the ponies, they can do rides and grooming. There's shows that you can do in the summer, I believe on Thursday afternoons. They have show jumping and dressage demonstrations, and they wrap it up with a sight of their historic carriages being pulled by the famous Percherons in the central courtyard. You can also rent bicycles or golf carts to explore the property. It's a really nice piece of ground to just wander around. It's easy to walk through. One note for non-French speakers or people who understand it less fluently like I did, we did the guided tour and it was only in French. And so, unfortunately, I missed a lot of what she was saying because I could not comprehend most of it. Unfortunately, that was something I did not plan well for. But this place is a perfect example of why we recommend giving yourself some extra flex days in your itineraries when you're traveling to go and just explore things that pop up on the last minute. We actually found this in a brochure at the chateau, the gîte we had rented, and it was only 15 kilometers east of Argentan, where we were going to see the Lace Museum. And so we just added this in at the spur of the moment, and we took time in the same day to do both. We saw it didn't take us too long to visit here. I love finding these kind of things that are off the beaten path in rural France. These are the places the tour buses don't stop and the guidebooks sometimes don't even mention. I hope this inspires you to discover this beautiful contribution to France's history by the Sun King right here in the heart of Normandy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.